morning. My name is Miguel Gonzalez, and I'm a certified retirement counselor with over 20 years of experience helping clients in retirement income planning, overseeing investment of funds, and designing retirement plans. Let's talk about teaching children about handling money wisely. Even before your children can count, they already know something about money. It's what they have to give the ice cream man to get a cone, or put in the slot to ride the rocket ship at the grocery store. So as soon as children begin to handle money, start teaching them how to handle it wisely. Number one, making allowances. Giving children allowances is a good way to begin teaching them how to save money and budget for the things they want. How much should they give them? How much should you give them? Depends in part on what you can expect them to buy with it and how much you want them to save. Some parents expect children to earn their allowance by doing household chores, while others attach no strings to the purse and expect children to pitch in simply because they live in the household. A compromise might be a good way to give children small allowances coupled with opportunities to earn extra money by doing chores that fall outside of their normal household responsibilities. So when it comes to giving children allowances, you want to set parameters. Discuss with your children what they may want to use the money for and how much should they save. Make allowance day a routine, like a payday. Give the same amount on the same day each week. Consider raises for children who manage money well. Number two, take it to the bank. Piggy banks are a great way to start teaching children to save money, but opening a savings account in a real bank introduces them to the concepts of earning interest and the power of compounding. While children might want to spend all their allowance now, encourage them, especially the older children, to divide it up, allowing them to spend some immediately while insisting that they save toward things they really want but can't afford right now. Writing down each goal and the amount that must be saved each week toward it will help children learn the difference between short-term and long-term goals. As an incentive, you might want to offer a match to whatever the children save toward their long-term goals. Number three, shopping sense. Television commercials and peer pressure constantly tempt children to spend money, but children need guidance when it comes to making good buying decisions. Teach children how to compare items by price and quality. When you're at the grocery store, for example, explain why you might buy generic cereal instead of a name brand. By explaining that you won't be buying them something every time you go to the store, you can lead children to thinking carefully about the purchases they want to make. Then consider setting aside one day a month when you will take children shopping for themselves. This encourages them to save for something they really want rather than buying on impulse. For big ticket items, suggest that they might put the items on a birthday or holiday list. Do not be afraid to let children make mistakes. If a toy breaks soon after its purchase or doesn't turn out to be as much fun as seen on TV, eventually children will learn to make good choices even when you're not there to give them advice. Number four, earning and handling income. Other older children, especially teenagers, may earn income from part-time jobs after school or on weekends, particularly if the money supplements any allowance you give them. Wages enable children to get a greater taste of financial independence. Earned income from part-time jobs might be subject to withholdings for FICA, federal, and state income taxes. Show your children how this takes a bite out of their paychecks and reduces the amount they have left over for their own use. Number five, creating a balanced budget. With greater financial independence should come greater fiscal responsibility. Older children may have more expenses, and their extra income can be used to cover at least some of those expenses. To ensure that they will have enough to make ends meet, help them prepare a budget. To develop a balanced budget, children should first list all of their income. Next, they should list their routine expenses, such as pizza with friends, money for movies, and for older children, gas for the car. Do not include things you will pay for. Finally, subtract the expenses from the income. If they'll be in the black, you can encourage further saving or contributions to the favorite charity. If the results show that your children will be in the red, however, you'll need to come up with a plan to address the shortfall. To help children learn about budgeting, devise a system for keeping track of what's spent, categorize expenses, needs, which are unavoidable, and wants that can be cut, and suggest ways to increase income and or reduce expenses. Number 6, the future is now, and teenagers should be ready to focus on saving for larger goals. For example, a new computer or car, long-term goals such as college and an apartment. And while bank accounts may still be the primary savings vehicle for them, you might also want to consider introducing your teenagers to the principles of investing. To do this, open an investment account for them. If they're minors, these must be custodial accounts. Look for accounts that can be opened with low initial contributions at institutions that supply educational materials about basic investing terms and concepts, helping older children learn about topics such as risk tolerance, time horizons, market volatility, and asset diversification may predispose them to take charge of their financial future. And number 7, should you give your child credit? If older children, especially those about to go off to college, are responsible, you may be thinking about getting them a credit card. However, credit card companies cannot issue cards to anyone under 21 unless they can show proof that they can repay the debt themselves, or unless an adult co-signs the credit card agreement. If you decide to co-sign, keep in mind that you are taking on the legal liability for the debt, and the debt will appear on your credit report. You want to also set limits on the credit card's use. Ask the credit card company for a low credit limit like $300 or a secured card to help children learn to manage credit without getting into serious debt. Make sure children understand the grace period, fee structure, and how interest accrues on the unpaid balance. Agree on how the bill will be paid and what will happen if the bill goes unpaid. And make sure that children understand how long it takes to pay off a credit card balance if they only make the minimum payments. If putting a credit card in your child's hands is a scary thought, you may want to start off with a prepaid spending card. A prepaid spending card looks like a credit card, but functions more like a prepaid phone card. The card can be loaded with a predetermined amount that you specify and generally may be used anywhere credit cards are accepted. Purchases are deducted from the card's balance, and you can transfer more money to the card balance whenever necessary. Although there may be some fees associated with the card, no debt or interest charges accrue. Children can only spend what's loaded on the card. One thing you might especially like about the prepaid spending cards is that they allow children to gradually get the hang of using credit responsibly. Because you can access the account information online or over the phone, you can monitor the spending habits of your children. If need be, you can then sit down with them and discuss their spending behavior and money management skills. So once again, my name is Miguel Gonzalez with Cortburg Retirement Advisors. Please take a moment to click the like icon and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to receive a weekly video podcast every Monday morning. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next week.